So I can see that we have a bunch of people here. We have full house today, and so hello and welcome to another Vital PBX webinar. My name is Joseph Montes, and I will be hosting today's session. You might know me as the guy that answers your emails and your phone calls. So today we're going to be talking about a very exciting new module for Vital PBX called the CRM connector module. So I know that a lot of you are very excited about this feature. So we're going to be taking an overlook about it. But before we begin, let me just let you know that throughout the webinar, we have a Q&A section available. So if you go to the underside of the webinar video, you will be able to find a button that says Q&A. It has two speech bubbles on it. You can post your questions there, and we have our support staff and Vital PBX team with us today, so they will be able to answer your questions through the Q&A at any moment. So you can pop your questions at any moment throughout the whole webinar. So you will be able to ask away. So all of your questions will be answered. So with that said, let's begin. So with the Vital PBX connector module, you're able to connect Vital PBX with your different CRM applications. Once again, my name is Joseph Montes, and I will be hosting this session for you today. So in Vital PBX, we listen. I know that this has been a module that a bunch of you have been asking for. In the meantime, the only way that you were able to connect with CRM is through our API, doing third-party integration. But now we now have a module that we have created specifically for integration with CRM applications. But once again, this is only the beginning. So this is phase one of the CRM integration. This is not where it all ends. Similarly to all of Vital PBX applications, we are able to build up from here and add more features, add more compatibility, add more options to the Vital PBX modules. So on this first iteration of the CRM module, we have Zoho CRM as well as Salesforce CRM. So these are the first two CRM applications that we are integrating with Vital PBX. So you will be able to have your connections with these two CRM applications. But don't worry, many more are to come. We are already analyzing the integration with these different CRM applications. And if you have any suggestions, always let us know of any other CRM applications that you're interested in. We will have that added to our feature requests and to our pipeline, so we are able to integrate those CRM applications in the future. So for now, we can quickly jump into a demo. This webinar session today is going to be a very quick one. I'm not going to be taking too much of your time. So let's get the demonstration going. So during the demo phase of today's session, I'm not going to go through every detail of how to integrate the CRM application. For that, we have written a full blog with a step-by-step instruction set. So you're able to follow, and you will be able to integrate Zoho CRM. That's what we're going to be using today as our demonstration. And that blog article should be available right after this webinar ends, directly through our blogs section on our website. So vitalpbx.com, and then go to the blog section. You will be able to find the article there once this webinar is done. So to start using this CRM connector module, we can go to apps and then go to CRM, and then we have integrations. So here you can see that I have already connected my Vital PBX installation with Zoho CRM. And once I have this connection established, we are presented with various options that will allow us to customize our connection experience. So first of all, you can enable and disable the whole connection as a whole. So if you're not interested in logging or having the connection active at any given time, you can disable it at any moment. Then we have enable call journaling. So what call journaling allows you to do is log any calls from this moment and on to the Zoho CRM. So any calls that go after I have enabled this feature will be logged into Zoho CRM. And afterwards, we have the contact settings. So where are these calls going to be logged into? They're going to be logged into a specific contact. So you can synchronize contacts, first of all, and you can choose where you want to synchronize them from. So by default, we choose contacts, but you can also synchronize contacts from leads and accounts. And you can choose to enable or disable this feature. What does synchronizing the contacts allow us to do? Whenever you install the CRM integration, you will also have installed the phone books the phone books module if you do not have it installed. So if we come to phone books in VitalPBX, you will now see that a phone book is created for our CRM integration. This phone book cannot be deleted. You cannot change the contacts here. This is solely integration between the CRM application and VitalPBX. And what does this phone book allow us to do? Well, first of all, you have a phone book URL that you can use with your different devices to have these contacts updated to those devices automatically. But also, this allows us to use another tool that we have in VitalPBX called the caller ID lookup. So if we come to incoming call tools and then caller ID lookup, we can create a caller ID lookup based on a source of a phone book. And in this case, I have selected that Zoho CRM phone book that was created. And now for my incoming calls, I am able to apply that caller ID lookup into my inbound routes. This way, whenever I receive a call to my phone number here, I am able to use this phone book to find the correct caller ID name. So instead of just seeing a number per se, I will be able to add the caller ID name to that contact that is calling me. And that way I can identify them better and I can greet them better more in a more personalized experience. So with the contacts synchronized, we can then also create new contacts from VitalPBX. So whenever you create a new contact, you can choose whether you want them to be created from incoming calls or outgoing calls, either one of those or both of them. And then how do you want to create that new contact? So you can choose to create that new contact as a contact or as a lead. Since these are phone numbers that are not existing on your CRM application, you can create them as any one of these options. And then you can also enable or disable this specific features. Then finally, from the CRM connector module, you will find the user section. So these users are users created in Zoho CRM. So you will be able to synchronize those contacts, those users that were created in Zoho with the CRM integration module, and you will be able to assign extensions to these users. If the user has an email that matches with an extension, so meaning that the extension has an email address assigned that matches with the CRM user, you are able to auto-assign extensions. But in the case that they do not match or you do not have emails assigned to the extensions, you can always come to the actions column and manually assign the extension to the user. With all of this connected, if I come to Zoho CRM, here you can see my little company is a little bit bare on tasks and meetings, but we do have big deals. But what is important here is if we come to contacts, here you can see that we have some contacts available. You can see here, first of all, that we have a contact that is PBX auto-generated. This means that this contact I called from my from my desktop phone. We'll be doing a call in just a moment, and you are able to see this information. So if you see a PBX generated contact, you can come in here and add more information about that contact. You will be able to see all of the activities for this specific contact and modify it and create it as a lead, modify it as a contact. It's already part of your CRM now. But now, if I want to call to a phone number, for example, let me add, make a new call.
Thank you for calling.
So now I have placed a call to a phone number of one of my contacts and made the call to the VitalPBX official phone line for sales. I'm just gonna close that call now. If I come to this contact, you will see that we now have all of their information. But if we scroll down a little bit, we're able to see the closed activities. So here, you're able to see different calls that I have placed or made for this specific contact. And in this case, you can see the call that I have made right here, just a couple of moments ago. And if I click on this call, you're able to see detailed information about the call. So you can see the type of call that this was. You can see the status for the call, when it was made, how long it lasted, the user that made that call. Sorry, accidentally went to the user. And then who created this contact. And you can see more related calls, so other calls made to this specific contact. And most importantly, you can also see the voice recording. So you can play back.
Thank you for calling VitalPBX. Para español, presione 1. If you know the extension.
Okay, so you can see that we can, hopefully you were able to hear the call recording. Yeah, you're able to listen to the call recording, and you can add notes, add more information towards this, assign it to a task, assign it to other activities. You know how to use your CRM better than anyone else. So you now have this log associated with a specific contact on your CRM. Keep in mind that the voice recording option at the moment is only available with Zoho CRM. It is not available with the Salesforce integration at the moment. So this is the CRM connector module. As you can see, is a very simple module at the moment. Once again, more features will be coming to it. What's more interesting about this module is that I have configured it for the main tenant here, but you can also configure the connection independently for every single tenant. So every single tenant inside of your multi-tenant environment is able to have their own CRM integration. So you're able to connect their tenant with their specific CRM connection. So the CRM connector module is fully multi-tenant capable. So this was the module, and as you can see, very simple. Once again, detailed instructions on how to install the module, how to configure it, will be posted right after this webinar. And once again, that blog will cover the Zoho CRM connection. The Salesforce one will come a little bit later. And yeah, so coming back to the presentation, we're able to see pricing. Let me tell you that the CRM integration module is included with all of our licensing plans. So everything from enterprise, call center, carrier plus, it already comes included. So if you have that licensing plan, the CRM connector module is already part of that. No additional charges for it. So I know the CRM connector module, that was a very short presentation. It's very straightforward. I will go through your questions in just a moment. I believe that my team has been able to answer a couple of them through the Q&A section. But let me tell you a little bit of what's next. I don't know if you were able to notice while I was doing the CRM integration. So yeah, if you have a keen eye, WhatsApp integration is coming to VitalPBX as well. I know that this is not very common in the US, but our international audience and international user base has been asking for WhatsApp integration for a while now. And I'm very glad to tell you that development for this integration has been running well, and it is going to be coming to VitalPBX in the future. So this WhatsApp integration adds a new application inside of the navigation menu, and the integration is quite similar to the SMS integration. So everything is going to be connected inside of VitalPBX itself. And what this allows you to do is it gives you additional features such as API calls for WhatsApp. So you're able to have WhatsApp as part of the VitalPBX API to connect with third-party applications. This means that VITS integration is also incoming for WhatsApp. And this will allow you to send and receive WhatsApp messages from Bitsy, including group logic. So you can have multiple Bitsy users part of a group, or we like to call it internally a queue for WhatsApp messages, and they will be able to answer the different WhatsApp messages directly through the Bitsy interface. And more is to come. So I hope that this integration gets you excited. So you can see it's a real module. Those are not mock-up images. This is the VitalPBX installation, and the module is here. You have your message log, so you're able to see the different messages. Once again, this is coming in the future, but I'd like to let you know that that is coming directly. So, yeah, so that would be the presentation. So let's move over to the questions. Okay, so let me start seeing the Q&A section. How many contacts have you tested? What happens at 1,000 or more contacts? We haven't tested massive contacts, but the API calls are not that intensive. So having 1,000 contacts, it would be the same if you were to import 1,000 contacts to the phone books through the CSV file. It's not that intensive on the phone books to synchronize, and contacts are generated. If you mean creating contacts on Zoho, you can create the contacts directly through VitalPBX, as you saw with the PBX auto-generated ones, and those are created as they come. Then Our voice recording does not play natively in the CRM. It wants to open an external application. Oh, how can you make it? So if you're using Zoho, as you saw that we do have that playback available through the application. Make sure that you have your host name for your VitalPBX set up correctly during the setup for this playground that we created here. I had that issue with the different host name than the FQDN that I was actually using. So that addressed the issue. You can try copying the URL for the app call recording. So if you come here, you can see it, you can copy it, you can verify the URL points directly to your machine. But if you have additional technical issues, you can always address that can always be addressed through the help desk platform. We are a lot in Soho, but we have some customers using HubSpot. Is it coming too? Yeah, as I mentioned, we have a full road ahead of CRM applications. There are quite a few out there in the market. We are expecting to add more and more as time comes, similarly as we have done with any other VitalPBX module or application. The same thing happened with the SMS module. At the beginning, we only had a few. Right now, we have a dozen or so. So we always continue to develop these modules. So more CRM applications will be coming in the future. How do you make an outbound call from the Zoho directly? That feature is not available at the moment. Once again, this is not the be-all and end-all of the CRM application. More features allow us to do more things, and those will be coming in due time. This is the first phase of the CRM integration, so you can start having that connection between your VitalPBX and your CRM applications. We expect more features to come in the future as we get to know these applications and start chatting with the different companies for these CRM applications. So you can expect more features to come in the future. When is it going to be available, the CRM module? When is the CRM module going to be available? So the CRM module is already available. So if you update to the latest version of the VitalPBX 4, you're able to go to admin and then add-ons and check online for the latest add-ons that we have available, and you will be able to install the CRM integration module. It's already available here. So admin, add-ons, and then here we have the CRM connector. Simply click the green install button right next to it. Okay, so next question. Well, once again, can you make outbound call directly from Zoho? So once again, that feature is not available at this moment. As we research for additional options that the API integration gives us, we will add more features in the future. Once again, this is not where it all ends. This is where everything begins. So we can only add up from here. The quantity of contacts would be important if you're installing from a mailing list. Once again, massive contacts have not been tested at the moment, but if anything, our team is always listening to any sort of requests, and we are always working so everything works as smoothly as possible on everyone's end. Once I integrate VitalPBX with Zoho CRM, can you give some example of use? What benefits I have with the integration? Well, you saw it. You saw it through the demo stage, where we were able to have a full view of the phone call here. We can see the log of the different phone calls, and this way you have a full view of all the interactions that are done with your customers. So you will not only on your CRM, you will not only see email interactions or chat interactions, you will now see full call logs of the interactions that you have with specific customers. So you're able to have a greater idea of what has been done related to that customer. When can we expect the outbound dialing feature to be available? Once again, there's no time frame for any new features as we go through them through R&D, research and development. The process goes from there, and we will announce in due time whenever new features are available through our newsletter and our different communication channels. Does the CRM screen pop up when a call comes in? So this is a feature that is coming that we're currently developing in accordance with the Vitsy development. So if you're using Vitsy as your end client, Vitsy will be able to identify the incoming calls and relate them with the CRM integration. So it will be able to open in a pop-up manner the incoming call and get you directly to that specific contact. So yes, that is something that we're currently working. It's not here yet, but in a future version of Vitsy, you are able to do that. The module works in multi-tenant. Yes, the VitalPBX the VitalPBX CRM connector module works in a multi-tenant environment, as I mentioned. You're able to create one connection for every single tenant, so every tenant can have their own CRM connection. So even if the tenants use different CRM applications, you are able to create that. Can we get a copy of this video? Yes, all of this presentation has been recorded, so you will be able to have the recording. This will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, so that is youtube.com/VitalPBX. We will be sending you an email when the call recording is available, once everything is edited and it looks pretty. We're going to be sending you an email, but you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, youtube.com/VitalPBX, and you will be able to be notified when the video is ready. Are you looking into integrating Zoho with using Zoho native phone bridge? We're looking into it, seeing what the possibilities are, what we need to do on our end. Once again, we're communicating with the CRM applications, directly. So at this time, it's under our radar, and we are going to be looking into that integration in the future, once we see everything that can be done and everything that is done. Okay, let me see if there are any more questions. I can see that WhatsApp is also integrated. Any update? Yeah, as I showed you just a moment ago, WhatsApp is coming in. It's coming in the future. So that is already a module that we have been working on. We have been doing some tests, and once again, it is going to have API options. It's going to have Vitsy integrations, and with the Vitsy integrations, you will be able to have the group logic. So you're able to have multiple users respond to incoming WhatsApp messages. Let's see. Zendesk integration. Once again, well, we're going to be having more CRMs applications integrated in the future. So more applications will be coming on. Let's see. Yeah, and I know that there are a lot of CRM applications. These are the first two that we have. Don't worry, we will be looking into more CRM applications, and they will be coming. How long are the call recordings saved? So the call recordings are accessed directly through your VitalPBX installation. So you will be able to access that call recording as long as you have that call recording in your VitalPBX installation. How long they are stored will depend on the storage that you have on your VitalPBX installation. So the more storage, the longer you can have the call recording stored. The call recording is not sent to Zoho CRM, so it's not stored there. It is stored on the VitalPBX server. So how long you have it will depend. Once again, there are various options that you can do to expand that storage or have a storage server. You have full access to the Linux layer of VitalPBX, and you're able to mount a storage server, be it a NAS or a SAN, directly to the directory for the call recording storage, and that will keep the URL intact, and you can still access the call recording through there. Okay. So I believe that would be all of the questions. Do you have any more questions? Once again, you can do them. You can leave them through the Q&A section. But my team has been answering some questions in text there, so you will be able to find those. You will be able to see the blog article. So once again, that is available through the blog section on our website. Let me pass that URL here. Whoops. Let me do that once again. There you go. So detailed instructions on how to do the Zoho CRM integration should be available readily right after we end this webinar. And I thank every one of you that came here, stayed with us throughout this whole time, and I hope that all of you are very excited about everything that is to come with this CRM integration. Once again, this is just the beginning. More features, more CRM applications are going to come. And once again, thank you everybody for coming, and I hope that you enjoyed the application. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.